when the universe pick you and you put on the magic glasses, there's rules that go with them. You can never take them off. You never see things as they're supposed to be. You see things as they are. You can never force nobody else to wear them.
I think while I lie awake and contemplate tonight are wearing me out. Well, maybe tomorrow the world will wake and get it right, but I have my doubts, yeah. During the day, well, I design machines of war that scream through the sky. 'Cause I, for one, I like to go to bed free at night under these stars and stripes. And I have my doubts that we're coming out. Yes, I have my doubts, and I have my doubts that we'll make it back out. Yes, I have my doubts, but they'll wind you up and pull the cord until you're spun right out. And I don't understand. Roll the dice and raise the price to feed the machine's mouth. Call it the progress of man. And I have my doubt that we're coming out. Yes, I have my doubts. And I have my doubts that we'll make it back out. I have my doubts, so I'll drink my stuff and raise some hell and shoot my guns to the end of my time. You can have the booze and go to hell and take the guns, but I know they won't be mine. Messed up and out of touch, let's text someone who's in the other room. So don't wonder why we don't say hi or know anyone. I might as well move to the moon. So maybe I'm wrong. Well, I hope that I'm wrong. So maybe I'm wrong. Well, I hope that I'm wrong. Well, the things I think while I lie awake and contemplate at night are wearing me out.
Howdy, howdy. I just changed over back to the cabin. I literally just did it like the last 20 seconds of the song. I was kind of curious if the images were going to show up here at the cabin. or if that was just something we got lucky with at the beach. But apparently not, because I show that I see the pictures. So that is cool. This is my favorite place. Out of what they give us, the offering, if you will, they only give us 3 places, but they give us 2 versions of each place. I don't like the other version of this place because it's like pink and crappy looking. But because this is this version here, and I think as long as there's nobody else in here, let's see. And I don't know, it works with the recorder in here, so the other lake one is this here, and it'll change over. Link. See the putrid color. That is like, and the whole damn room is putrid. I don't know what to say. It's just putrid. So, and then I showed you the city's got 2 versions. We'll run through them real quick. This is what they call City Bright. Is what they call this one, and I am just I'm not a big fan. And then there's just a City Sleek, and I'm not really a fan of the city a whole lot to begin with. But this is the difference in the City Sleek. And I know you only get to see one little bitty part of it, but at least with the city, you can see a little bit of the images to the sides of me. The Constitution and the American flag over there. And then over there, I have a picture of Yeshua and the cross. So, yeah, just kind of cool. Anyway, we're going back to the cabin because that's what I prefer. Yay. Okay. I know, that was just so interesting, right? Huh. Man. I don't know what the hell to think. And again, I don't think that in itself should be unexpected. Not only does the good book tell us about these times, but also it's just common sense at this point that with anything important, the powers that be are going to put so much misinformation around it that it'd be hard to kind of get any straight details on anything. Now, I'm talking about a lot of the conflicts that are going on, or more so near conflicts that are going on, because there's quite a few, and it seems to be growing. It's not stopping, clearly not stopping with Ukraine and Russia, Israel and Hamas. Clearly not stopping. And as far as Israel and Hamas is concerned, and it wasn't the first time I've heard him, the first article I've even got up here is Israel vows to hunt Hamas anywhere. And that's not the first I've heard that said. And I do believe that they mean it. And I don't know how that's going to unfold. You know, it's one thing if you're doing something in your own country, or if you're doing something in a country that you're actually at war with, or but then to go into countries like Turkey, to go into countries like Qatar, Jordan, that's not their place to do so. And that in itself could spark a lot more problems for Israel, just by going into these other countries to go after, they claim, going after Hamas. You know, I think it was somebody in France. I don't know if that it was Macron. I think it was somebody else had said, you know, if they plan to go through with this hunting Hamas thing, and if their intent is to fully eradicate Hamas, then they should expect to be at war for 10 years. So that's what was said. All right, brother, what is up?
What's up, man?
Not much. Same old, man. Same old. Getting your. Getting it? There you go.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, I think they've been working on the script, man. Because for the most part, things seem to be working better. So
Right on.
everything's showing up for everybody, so that's like really awesome. Oh man. So what have you been up to?
Actually, I had my wife put on the VR
Uh-huh.
in the helicopter, and then I was watching on the screen, and I flew her through Las Vegas at night and everything.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, we just did that. She liked it. That was pretty cool.
Oh, I bet you did, dude. That is awesome.
Yeah.
That is awesome.
Definitely made her. She's like, "Oh my God, I feel like I'm really floating right now."
Yeah, it's surreal. I know I got vertigo for a little bit earlier in DCS. Just because I was kind of whipping around a little bit and I was trying to find stuff and for just a moment I got a little bit of vertigo, but yeah, I got to totally retrain on the weapon systems because I
It's
know how to shoot the
technical.
gun. Yeah, it is, and you have to, everything's got its own set of settings and all of that stuff, and you have to be able to change this stuff while you're flying, and it's interesting. So I got the cannons. That's no problem. The cannons are easy. Rockets. I got rockets figured out. That's not a problem. I'm having a problem with the bombs and the pods. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. So I can do the unguided. I should say unguided rockets. The unguided rockets and the cannons, but I haven't been able to drop a bomb or any of the little pod bomblet things. So I got it to make the noises of dropping the pod bomblet things, but I never seen any booms, so I don't know that they worked. I have no idea. And there again, that may have required me to be at a certain altitude, when I let those go.
Yeah.
And, I only kind of half-ass paid attention to the YouTube video. It's a lot of that stuff. It just because it doesn't really interest me. I'm not into,
Yeah.
I love flying, and I do love the idea, the thought of aerial combat and stuff. But yeah, there's a whole lot better stuff to learn out there in the world than how to kill one another.
I know War Thunder's probably 10 times easier.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I have no idea. I did see
But that's kind of one of those games too where like all the planes, you either got to spend a stupid amount of time playing to earn them or you got to give them money,
right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I mean, I don't. I mean, I don't mind if I can pick up on the DCF stuff. That's cool. And in time, if I like it, I could see purchasing one of the, one or two of the aircraft. I could see that.
I think it'll be totally worth it once you finally figure it out. It'll
Oh
be
yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
Because I've been watching tons of videos on it like over the years, and like I want to play it, but every time I get in and try, I just get overwhelmed and I'm like, screw this.
Yeah. 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 I can't wait. There's three aircraft that I'd probably have on my list pretty quick, and that's the probably I would have to probably go with the F-15 first, and the reason why is because by getting the F-15, that would enable me to use the free community F-22. So yeah, I could have an F-22 in the hangar
2 for 1.
if I had the F-15. So I get 2 for 1 there. And then, of course, the F-18 and the F-16 are both aircraft I'd like to have. I don't know if I'd get the F-18 first or the F-15 first. It's awful hard to pass up the F-18. Yeah, it's but I mean the F-15, I think it's the XE or whatever they call it. It's the latest one. But yeah. Other than that, I just been trying to keep an eye on this insanity going on. I don't think this is going to end well with Israel running around in different countries assassinating people. Don't think that's going to go well. Trying to think of anything else that I've heard throughout the day. Trying to think. I only got 3 tabs up. Let me throw this up there. Get over here. There you go. It'll come in a moment. It should anyway. There it is. Okay. There's the article I was talking about. Israel vows to hunt Hamas anywhere, says security chief. Says they plan to launch a security operation against members of the Palestinian Hamas militant group who reside outside of Gaza, the head of Israel's domestic security service said in a televised address on Sunday. The Jewish state will hunt down the militants anywhere in the world, Barr said in a video aired by the Israeli public broadcaster Khan. The official said that Turkey, Lebanon, and Qatar are among the countries where Israel plans to search for its adversaries. The cabinet has set us a goal in street talk to eliminate Hamas. This is our Munich, Barr said. It is unclear when exactly his statement was made. Shin Bet has not commented on his chief's statements. The Israeli government vowed to deliver an ultimate defeat to the Gaza-based group in the wake of October 7 attack, and it goes into the history of crap. But you know, I have a feeling that countries like Turkey and Lebanon and Qatar are really going to be keeping an eye out for stuff like this. And I don't think they're going to play around, to be real honest. I think if they catch Mossad or Israel in any capacity, I don't think it's going to end well for those individuals that are carrying out those missions. I don't know. And then at what point do other countries say, okay, enough's enough? And when I'm talking about other countries, I'm not talking about Turkey and Qatar and Lebanon, or Egypt or any of them. I'm talking about like Russia, Iran. I do find it awful interesting how Iran backed down, though. I didn't expect that. I did not expect that. I'm not quite sure why. I don't know. However, I mentioned earlier at the beginning of the show, that's not the only place. North Korea is saying that it's just a matter of time. And there was, what was it that, let's see, under the terms of a comprehensive military agreement signed in Pyongyang in September 2018, North and South Korea agreed to completely cease all hostile acts against each other. This included ending military drills close to the border, banning live fire exercises in some areas, and taking steps such as the removal of guard posts along the demilitarized zone. So, Seoul is the one who first broke this agreement last month. I'm at a complete loss. There's not, if you ask me about Trump, there's not a whole lot of favorable things that I have really to say about the man. But as far as the situation with Hamas, North Korea is concerned, I had never in my life not only not expected to see something like that happen. Um, I commend him in every way for what he did and how, not just what he did, but how he did it, how he went about it. The fact that he walked over the line by himself, unarmed, without, Secret Service, nothing, just him. And that's balls, man. That is balls. Now, do I think that North Korea would have seized upon that moment to shoot the president of the United States of America? No. I mean, they might as well just put a nuke on our faces, because that's not going to work out well for them. I don't think that Trump for a second was in any kind of danger, as long as our side didn't cause the danger. So I don't know. I just think that this is I don't know. I think it's tragic, to be quite honest, where we are now as far as North Korea is concerned, and where we were, say, in 2018. So
It's tragic that I would have never in a million years thought that someone could destroy as much of our country as they have in one term, man.
yeah, it is pretty astounding. It is pretty astounding. But I
He'll go
think,
down in history to date as one of the worst presidents. I guarantee it, just statistically.
you mean Trump?
No, Biden.
Oh, Biden. Biden. Well, yeah, of course,
Yeah.
Biden will. I think Biden actually holds the worst of records, if I'm not mistaken. The worst approval ratings and all that stuff. I'm pretty sure Biden holds those.
Yeah. It's
Yeah,
to
I
the
don't.
point now that he doesn't even realize where he's at anymore. It's just
No,
ridiculous, dude.
no. And I don't know. I I can't see him being I cannot see him being who the Democrats choose to
Did you
run.
see that video of him and Elton John?
Uh,
He goes, he's congratulating Elton John on getting $6 billion for AIDS research. And he goes, "This is the man here you can blame for spending $6 billion of your taxpayer money on AIDS research." Elton John's looking at him like, "What the heck did you just say, dude?"
yeah, that's messed up. I don't know, man. I don't know. And then this thing is coming up. U.S. ally warns of swarm of Chinese ships. So apparently there's a bunch, and they're saying somewhere in the number of, I thought I saw 150 something somewhere. It started out, well, they say more than 100. And then I guess these ships, I guess they keep just like tying up to each other. And it says it's now estimated to have grown to more than 135 vessels. And it's just this huge flotilla. And Manila's all pissed off at Beijing over it because Manila more or less takes claim to that area. And of course, China says they own everything. So it is what it is. I don't know.
I've heard about this. I've seen videos on this and stuff. They're just like decimating local people's fishing population, just coming in and wiping everything out.
Yeah. And the coral, they said something about taking the coral too or whatever.
Yeah.
So yeah, and it's absolutely insane.
And it's illegal and they know it, but like you said, who's gonna stop them?
Right. So I sit there and I look at all this stuff going on, and I have to ask myself, when is it coming? I mean, because it's clearly going to be coming. I think so. Um, when I say it, I am talking about uh, just a swath of different conflicts going on at the same time. Now I'm actually starting to seriously look at North and South Korea as a possible issue, where that hasn't concerned me so much in any time that I ever recall, actually. Um, because there was a lot of banter that always went back and forth. But right now, it seems like there's a fairly large amount of countries that just want to instigate war. It's insane. Absolutely insane.
I don't know, man. I guess people just ran out of something to do.
Holy hell.
That's what it feels like, man. It's like, oh, we can't make the world a better place. Let's just,
Tear it all to hell.
yeah, and flush it down the drain. All the work our ancestors put up, everything our, forefathers fought for and everything. It's just, screw it.
That's the thing that gets me, because it's just like, why are we going to piss away everything that was paved for us just to have to repave it again?
Yeah. I think, like you said too, you know how media has been influencing people and everything, and the same with movies and all that. And I really do think that, man, through video games and movies, they push the narrative of they want the world to end, and people are like cool with it because through the movies, they think they actually got a chance at surviving it.
Yeah, yeah. It's insane. It is truly insane, and that's why I laugh too when the prepper channels start doing reviews of the gas masks and stuff, and it's like, there's a gas mask could do you good if you got somewhere far the hell away from what happened to go, and if you can get on your journey quickly, as long
Hmm.
as you got some spare cartridges, as long as you take the other precautions and stuff like that, you should be all right. But most of the people that are buying the gas mask, they don't have no plans to go anywhere. A lot of the folks are going to bug in. That gas mask is useless, and the reason why I say that is because you're only going to get at absolute maximum 24 hours out of your cartridge. So that means every single day you're going to need a new cartridge for your gas mask for as long as you're in the contaminated area.
Hmm.
And then
And
you
then what
got,
about taking it off to drink and eat
and when you change your filter, your cartridges
yeah,
out and all of that, and I know that's kind of nitpicking a little bit at it, but
but it's real.
it's very real. And
Yeah.
it would be so hard to keep from becoming contaminated living in an environment to where it's all around you. There are countries. Oh, well, I don't have my screen share. There's a GeoForce Game Ready driver available.
Yeah, I got that earlier
Oh,
too.
did you? I just got it. I just got it. Um, yeah, nah.
But did you know in well, World War One or whatever, the cross that we had painted on Jeeps and people's helmets and stuff, that
Hmm.
actually reacted to the gas, and it would change a different color so that when our soldiers saw it from a distance, they knew not to go over there.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, I learned that. That's a pretty crazy thing that I never I never would have imagined, but yeah, it actually changes color, and I guess mustard gas or whatever gases it was supposed to detect, it would go from red to some other color. I can't remember.
Wow.
But yeah,
That makes sense.
that was how you knew, because like if there was a bunch of dead soldiers in that area and their crosses were all changed color, and same with Jeep. Like if it was happening to you when you're wearing it, well, it's too late for you, but
Right, right,
it would
right,
warn the rest.
right. Yeah, that's crazy. Man, I don't know. See, in World War II, the thing that I find nuts is here in the United States, they were teaching people to duck and cover nonsense. Russia was building frickin' bunkers for its civilians. Uh, so was many other countries, by the way, not just Russia. Um,
So we were building bunkers. We just weren't going to let anybody in them.
well, yeah. And then I don't remember what countries it was. I think possibly either Austria or Australia was one of them. I don't remember which one of the two. That they were given in certain areas, they were giving the populace cyanide tablets,
Good Lord.
because, well, dude, that was like the most humane thing they could have done. That was a very humane move. Because, dude, do you want to live through that? If you know that you're going to have radiation poisoning and that you're going to suffer that type of a death, bleeding internally and all the fun stuff that comes with it, wouldn't you rather a quick, easy way out? I know I would.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, I definitely get that, but man, what a weird thing to have to do. Like, here's your cyanide pill just in case, guys. Like,
But at least they were realistic with it. I
right?
mean, what in the
For
hell's the
sure.
duck and cover going to do? Make sure you
Yeah.
kiss your ass on the way out? I mean, that's about all you're going to garner from that. I mean, I don't know. And they have
I found
insane.
out too that, all those tests, all those videos of all the nuclear tests we did in the desert,
Hmm.
all of those were models, man. They weren't even real.
Oh,
That stuff
really?
was all, they even came out and said it. That was 100% fake just for the Russians.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, all them little buildings were scale models, I guess. And
I see
it
what you're
shows,
saying.
wiping out the little ghost town and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Wow.
Because someone pointed it out to me. He's like, dude, the footage wouldn't be there.
Right, because it would have wiped the camera
Yeah.
out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's absurd. That's just absurd.
Not saying we don't got them, because I'm definitely sure we got them, and a lot of them.
It's almost like believing that they could beam a television signal from the moon to the Earth. When satellites at that time, in order to take pictures of anything on the Earth or in space, um, literally had to send back a film canister, right? It had to send back a film canister,
Yeah.
but somehow they could broadcast live video and audio from the moon to the Earth. It's amazing.
Right. What is the speed of radio? Apparently, it just goes on forever.
There are so many inconsistencies with that.
Well, you hear so often they talk about the speed of light and all that. Well, and this satellite's out by Pluto. It takes so many months or whatever for the signal to get back here. Well, how fast is it? Nobody ever says how fast the radio signal travels.
Mm-hmm.
And then apparently it just goes on forever and ever. It never stops.
Well, it depends.
Once you beam it out there,
once it hits
ends.
space, yes. Once it hits space, it doesn't end. Supposedly, that's what we're told. Yep. Yep. That's crazy.
That is crazy.
Makes you just want to go to the edge of space and just stick your ass toward it and shit.
Right.
Sorry.
Find the universal firmament.
I'd do it a little.
What's that little hole in the wall?
Is that a hole in the ozone or a toilet? Yeah, I don't know, man. Crazy, crazy, crazy. I just, the thing I'm concerned about is how much longer we have as far as life as we know it.
I heard
Power
somebody
grid.
just stopped their oil production, and a couple other places were going to stop.
Yeah, I know there's a lot of turmoil, pun intended.
But yeah, wasn't it Iran? I think that's why they backed out, because they were going to cut us off on oil or something.
Something.
Yeah. Use another tactic, you know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I know the OPEC nations and stuff are really doing a number on the United States, and then it's even it's in the headlines today about the strategic oil reserve. I mean, it's all but gone. It's insane.
And once other countries know that do supply us with this, we're screwed. I mean,
yeah,
it was just like back in World War II, World War One too. I mean, all those planes, every single one of those planes required an additive for your oil that all came from U.S. Standard Oil. Like, you couldn't get it anywhere else to run your plane. The Germans had it on all their planes. I mean, all we had to do was just say, hey, we're not going to sell you that no more. And bam, all their planes were grounded.
yep. Well, you know, none of it makes sense, dude. While all this is going on, we're still buying uranium from Russia. Right now, this very moment, we're still buying uranium from Russia.
And storing all our old used crap in Ukraine. Really?
I don't know, man. I don't know. I think we're in for some crazy times, man. And I think they're upon us. I really do. I think there's going to be a couple of very big events that's going to really change the course of society. But I don't know how long that's going to take. It's really, you know, you look at this stuff, and so many times I've looked at situations and thought, man, this is going to go, and it never went. You know. But I know that
It's
it's a
everything
matter
that,
of time. Huh?
yeah, and then everything that people want, everything that people ask, everything that people say, they just don't care in
Mm-mm.
any way, shape, or form. Even when that lady's up there, she's doing the press secretary or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
talk about showing favorites. That woman is terrible, you know? And I mean, you shouldn't be like that. You're representing, you know, you're supposed to be out there telling everybody in the country what a great job you're doing, not constantly up there bickering about who's right and who's wrong.
Right, right. Well, and
I mean,
that's their whole way of working now. That as long as they can keep people fighting, including themselves, they can get away with whatever they want. You know, because more people are interested in the argument than they are in what's actually going on.
what do you think about the UAP thing? I seen that today, that they were talking about how they're demanding that the intelligence agency, whatever, produce something, because like every time they bring it up, that these things, it's, you know, it's one thing to have a secret US thing, but it's another thing when it's invading commercial airspace and causing problems.
Well, who is it that's demanding?
um con- Congress, some of the
Congress.
members of Congress, but not all of them.
Right.
But it is
Okay.
people on both sides, Republicans and Democrats, are both demanding, like, we want to know, you know, if they are secrets, come out and tell us they're secrets and get them out of commercial
Dude,
airspace.
I think there is so much involving all of that, especially I think that a lot of the technology that we're enjoying right now, it was at least based off of or reverse engineered from their technology. I don't think that's just a conspiracy theory. I think that that's a reality. Because, dude, if you look at the time in between, you know, 70s and 80s, there was an electronic revolution that happened. We went from analog to digital. And just making that one single change alone opened up all of this and so much more we haven't even learned about yet. But then it goes beyond that. It wasn't that they just went from analog to digital, but almost immediately started throwing in all these other aspects of it with clock speeds and this and that and the other thing. And now we sit here and we've got a mobile phone, right? And the damn thing can do everything that we thought we were hot shit for doing in the 80s. Like having a boom box, having a,
Yeah.
those things you can hold in the palm of your hand now. And it does every single one of them on such a level better. It's just unbelievable. I don't think we did that. I just don't think we did that. So, but here's the thing. Are all the countries, or a majority, at least a majority of the countries, in on it?
That's what seems weird, is that, yeah. I mean, there's
And,
been lots of whistleblowers, but they always just get thrown off as kooks,
but have there really been whistleblowers when it comes to multinational conspiracy with aliens? Have you ever
No,
heard?
not at all.
I've never heard anything of the sort.
Just like
Never.
on videos of ghosts, I've never seen one speak a different language. They
No,
all speak English.
all of them. I mean, it's the afterlife immigration laws are much different than what we have. Yeah, MP3 players are massively outdated. MP3 players have been outdated by the vinyl record. Did you hear about that? No,
I'm
they
really,
didn't make it. Huh?
I'm really surprised they still sell DVDs.
Yeah, I'm surprised on the DVDs. Records, I get that. I know the difference in listening to a record and any other format, and I understand the whole record, the love for records. No doubt about that.
Mm-hmm.
It's not my favorite. Well, I guess it would depend on the music. If I was listening to the stuff that my dad liked to listen to, I want to hear that on a record.
Right.
But anything that I listen to, I want that in FLAC. Oh, man. Fun times. That was one of the things I did to my little MP3 player when I hacked it. I enabled it to be able to play FLAC files. I replaced the operating system, the ROM.
Yeah, I didn't even know you could do that. That's pretty cool.
Well, you had to have, in this particular instance, you had to have an MP3 player that had a certain chipset in it. And as long as you bought an MP3 player with that chipset, you were, they told you the instructions on how to get into the system, how you could replace the system or just alter the system, or, you could do all kinds of stuff. It's a little bitty cheap, and it was a cheap MP3 player. like one of the cheapest. And dude, that thing was badass, man. I mean, from stock it was so, but once I put a different operating system on it and stuff and did little tweaks here and there with it, dude, that thing was fast and it was incredible. Just a little bitty damn, you know, MP3 player. Like I say, it was just a cheap little bastard. I bought it because it had the right chipset in it. But I used to
How much
always
further do you think they can really go with phones?
phones. Oh
I mean,
gosh,
we wanted to make them as small as possible. Now we're getting them bigger.
they're not
And
gonna
then
have screens. We're not gonna have
I think it's gonna
and
be like the Quest 3, man, like augmented reality thing.
and inside of 10 years, we're gonna have two things. That's gonna be the norm. It's gonna be like AR, augmented reality, without a doubt. And then we're also going to have things like holographic wristwatches and stuff. And I think that's what you're going to see largely replace the cell phone. I think you're going to see something like a holographic wristwatch.
Now, how weird would it be? Check this out, okay? There's people walking around with their AR glasses and they see the other people that have their AR glasses on, right? And they all
Mm-hmm.
got avatars like this. But the
Mm-hmm.
people who don't got it are regular people.
Mm-hmm.
And do you think those avatar people will hang out with each other more?
I don't know. I would imagine. I mean,
There'll be like avatar clubs where it's just avatars allowed. Like you have to have your glasses
well,
on.
the thing is they are already implementing that right now with the mixed reality and stuff. I mean, they've got different programs and stuff, like even programs like this, similar to this, to where you can just be walking through the world and it will throw in, whatever it is.
Yeah.
But you can see the walk, you can see people, you're not going to walk into nothing, but it's just got a bunch of other shit too, that's not really there. And from what I understand, the Quest 3 can do all kinds of stuff like that.
It'll be great. Especially for dieting. You can pretend to eat, but not really.
Oh man. Yeah, it's crazy though.
It would be funny though. Just imagine like how far it could go, like show you different foods and what's actually on your plate.
Yep.
Maybe trick your brain into thinking you're eating something you're not. I don't know, man. It could go deep.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, I actually I do I have a healthy fear of this technology because I think so easily it could be taken so far, way too far.
People say
And
it's gonna ruin relationships
oh, I bet. I bet.
because you'll be able to walk in your house and have your girlfriend walking around and she won't even be real, but you'll see her and you'll think she's real, I mean, real enough for you.
Oh, I think there's going to be a lot of issues, and I do think that by the time that old Elon Musk is offering brain chips into people, I think that there's going to be a significant amount of people that are going to welcome it, because I think that these are all going to be stepping stones towards that, the augmented reality and all that. And that's why I love the technology, and I'll go with it so far. But there comes a point, like there's something with the Quest 3 that I don't find particularly pleasing, about having one, and that's because it's got a depth sensor. So and I'm pretty sure it's probably going to work on some form of LiDAR or similar. And
Hmm.
so it's literally going to be scanning your damn home. I mean,
Yeah.
that's a little bothersome to me. But it has to be able to do that in order to do the augmented reality. I don't know what the hell with my
But yeah,
hands.
like it could go as far as like, oh, because then everything's online. So what if it scans your room, and it sees, oh, there's a rifle in the corner, but you're a felon.
You
And then
got
it
it.
calls the police on you.
Bingo.
You never know.
Bingo. Oh, you better
We
believe
already
all
got
that kind of stuff.
cars are snitching on you all the time now.
I would be shocked if there hadn't been a Roomba or two that has put people in prison.
That'd be
Because of the
crazy.
very reason, like you just said, because they have that. They have LiDAR technology. They
Mhm.
have the ability, they could differentiate between a rifle and in the corner. You know, it just
Right.
things that make you go, and then the damn thing's got cameras on it, so they can just sit there and watch as the damn thing drives through your house.
Yeah.
That's messed up, man. That's why I will not. No, that's some technology I don't want nothing to do with.
I always wondered too, like I live out in the country. So if someone's in the bathroom, I'll go stand off the porch and take a leak,
Mm-hmm.
like any man would. But I always wonder, like, if my ring catches me, like, can it turn me in?
Right. Well, the ring is going to turn you in, and they're going to call in the Roomba for a witness. So I mean, and then the refrigerator is going to be like, well, shit, he drank so much damn,
Beer,
I mean,
yeah,
yeah. I'm sure he did piss off. And then the back door alarm's going to be like, oh, hell yeah, he went out.
Yeah, he slammed me way too hard last time.
Your smart home is going to fuck you up. Pardon the language, but I had to. But I mean, that is the true reality of it.
Yeah, it is, honestly.
Right on, Layola. He says, ain't no chip going in this head. You better believe that, brother. Better believe that.
You download some crappy mods, get a virus on it.
Oh, God. Oh, imagine that. Imagine having sex in VR and catching a digital STD. I mean, I don't even know how that would work.
Yeah, totally possible for sure.
Yeah, I got telegonorrhea. Oh, man.
You got WASD.
Oh, man. I mean, you did know what magic stood for, right? With Magic Johnson?
Uh-uh.
My ass got infected, coach. Oh, man. Yeah, that was amazing, though, how he just got cured right up.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy.
Amazing. Must have been all that basketball. Man, oh man. Where in the hell's mine? There it is. Fun times. Not really, but another week. Yeah. I'm actually glad that I unpublished the Patreon tiers and stuff. I wasn't a fan of that. I'm not a fan of that. So, and then like I told everybody, I didn't have anything really I'm not going to withhold information from people and say, oh, well, you got to pay, No.
Mm-hmm.
And that goes for anything. I wouldn't expect to be paid for teaching somebody how to work on a car or a computer or anything else for that matter. The only thing I ask is that if they get the opportunity to teach somebody else, to please pass the information on. But that's it. I mean, that's repayment to me.
Yeah, I wish more people were like that. Shoot, man. Like, I always wonder, and people really do. you drive through these neighborhoods and you're like, how the heck do people afford these? What jobs are they working?
Oh, I wonder stuff like
And
that all the time.
them jobs are kept secret, man. People don't tell you about them jobs. They're not like, hey, this is something you should go to college for, or this and that. It's all so generic. Oh, no, you need to go to school for business or you need to go to school for this, when you
Exactly.
should really be looking at something more really
Exactly.
specific.
I'm not sure, Leo, what ILM means there, brother. You'll have to tell me what the ILM means so I can fully understand what you're saying. Yeah, I mean, I had a guy that I went to high school with, and I was suspicious from the beginning because, well, I'm sorry, but I'm just suspicious, especially when people try to offer help. Usually there's something else there, and they were going to try to help me get set up with getting my teeth taken care of. But then quickly I started hearing about all these other plans that they had for my fucking life, a grown man. And, I told them in the past, the reason I don't have a license, the reason I don't have an ID is because of the Real ID Act. That's why. Well, he thought, oh, you don't get driver's license, and he was talking about college, and I'm like, what the fuck? What is wrong with you, man? Because I saw all of this coming to a head with the student loan crisis and all this stuff, and it's like, I just don't understand. I understand how the kids could have been fooled. Okay, I get that. But how are the damned adults get so damn fooled by it?
Yeah, I don't know, man.
And now, even now, as there's a big back and forth about whether this or that's going to be paid or covered or, whatever. And I keep trying to explain to everybody that, look, they're just changing the names of stuff. It's still a bank bailout. It's a bank bailout. And that's what's going on. And first, as I've said it many times before, first they got the parents on their mortgages, and then they turned around and went and got their kids on their college loans. That's the messed up thing.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
the majority don't even realize it.
Yeah. Refinance your home, everybody.
Mm-hmm. Oh.
Refinance your home, everybody, especially at the age of 50.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying, Leo.
Those commercials.
I thought I heard something about Kiss doing something with holograms or something, but I didn't know if anything ever came of it or even what it really entailed. But I think you're going to see, well, largely I think you're going to see the older performers, right? Well, let's just say it, the washed up performers. I think you're going to see them really flock to stuff like that. Because they're going to do everything they can to preserve,
Okay, I got a good question about that. Do you think that is a end of life kind of crisis mental thing, or are they just all shitty with saving money?
Probably
Because it
both.
seems like every one of them come back out, and it's like, why? What's the purpose? Just go chill, relax. Why would you want to go on tour at 60 and stuff?
I think it's probably a little of both,
Yeah.
And when you reach a certain age, because I'm there now. When you reach a certain age, you start looking back on your life.
Yeah.
And you start asking questions like, have I really done the stuff that I set out to do? Have I? And you start taking stock of that stuff. And you come to the realization, or at least I have, that there are a lot of things that I still want to do. And it's not necessarily things I hadn't done, but things that I had no reason to not continue doing. A simple thing like fishing, right? I mean,
Yeah.
that's just something simple, no big deal. Dude, I haven't been fishing in over a decade.
Yeah. I feel you. Yeah. I know.
And I love sitting there with a rod in my hand, you know? I mean, I enjoy it. Um, there's just a lot of stuff that I haven't done that were actually big parts of my life even that I haven't done. So I don't know. Um, I know though that I'm experiencing a lot of different stuff right now. Little I don't know how to explain it, but and I'm sure a lot of it's age related. I'm sure a lot of it's fate kind of related, and it is what it is. I mean, I'm not. I'm in no means the stage where I want to go out and buy a convertible or something, you know. But
You wouldn't buy one anyways. You would just build one.
yeah, I just cut the damn top off or whatever the hell I had. I mean,
Yeah.
wouldn't bother me none. Uh, I enjoyed doing crazy stuff like that. At a 1980 Oldsmobile Omega, and in shop class, I built a hood scoop for it, and it was a crappy looking hood scoop. You know, it was a there was nothing to it. It was kind of stupid, but I did it anyway because I thought it would be cool to have a
Right?
hood scoop on my front wheel drive car.
Yeah. Who didn't want a hood scoop when we were teenagers?
I mean, it looked really in place, sitting right in the center of the hood on a front wheel drive. But I mean, you know, yeah. Hang on. Yeah, that car was a pain in my ass. I bought the car. Dad went with me to go look at it. Neither one of us, you know, really could find anything that we didn't already know wrong. And so I bought it, took it home. And like I did any time that I bought a vehicle, regardless of what the previous owner said, I'd put plugs and wires, give it an oil change, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And about a week later, I was going to change the oil in the Omega. Put the oil pan under there, pull the drain plug out, and just saw from the get-go just tons of clumpy shit coming out. I'm like, oh, this ain't good. So I go to get the old man and drug the oil pan out, and I showed him, and he goes, that's sawdust. And I'm like, what the hell? Why is there sawdust in there? He goes, I'll tell you this. He goes, I guarantee you put an oil filter on there, fill that thing up with oil and start it up. This engine knocks louder than you could ever imagine. He goes, that's how you shut an engine up to get rid of one. And yeah, so sure enough, I completed the oil change. That engine didn't even last a week, and it threw a rod. And so my
Does it just just packs itself in between the rod and the rocker, or the valves, or
I think I'm thinking what happens is it crunches it up, it gets it real
yeah?
fibrous, and I think that that's enough to get in between like the the bearing and the journal, and I think it's just enough to stop it from making the clack.
Yeah.
That's my guess. I don't know. I'd never done it. That's the only time in my life I'd ever seen it done.
Yeah, I've never even heard of that. That's crazy.
But yeah, my very first on my own vehicle, I guess I need to qualify that. On my own vehicle, my very first engine change was that V6 front wheel drive. Boy, was that fun. But
That's a terrible way to start. I wouldn't. I
oh
wouldn't even ever mess with a front wheel drive.
man, that car, I broke a CV joint because you're not supposed to race around the Hardee's parking lot. But I did anyway, and broke a CV joint as I'm going sideways around the building. I worked there. It was and
Work there. I was okay. I worked
yeah, it's a normal night.
there.
And so I threw out the CV joint and I got the car pushed into a spot, and got a ride home. Me and Dad went out the next day to take a look at it and see if we could fix it. Well, we got a whole new CV shaft assembly. And, I talked to the manager. Like I said, I worked there. So they said as long as we were careful, didn't take too long or cause an issue, we could just do it right there. So me and Dad got out there in Hardee's parking lot, changing out the CV joint, the whole shaft. At that Omega, and I'll be damned if I wasn't kneeling down by the side of the car. And I can't remember exactly what it was we used. I think it was just a little bitty stupid. They were on threaded bolts. I don't know what they're spring compressors is what they are, but they're just two little chunks of metal on a threaded rod, and they just pull together. Okay, and we were using those damn things because we had to collapse the spring. And I'll be damned if that thing didn't come flying out from underneath that damn fender and hit me right square in a freaking knee. And I mean, them springs come out hard enough. They hit you, they send you going. I mean, I was already kneeled down, and it probably threw me a good 2-3 feet when it hit me. Holy hell, did that hurt? It was a true miracle that it didn't just completely obliterate my knee. But it didn't, and I guess
I've
it was
always, I've always heard terrible things about them. I've thought about buying them, and I never did because of the horror stories I hear.
Yeah, don't get those. Because my dad, he was a safe guy, and he was really smart. He was really good at doing stuff. And if that happened to him,
Right.
because Dad learned a lot, and he was only missing one toe. And that's true. He got his toe off mowing the grass one time. He slipped while mowing on a hill, and so yeah, took out one of his big toes. So, but yeah, he wasn't a big fan of climbing high ladders because of that. But he had to. He'd worked at places to where he would have to climb way the hell up to the top of a machine so he could grease stuff,
Yeah.
He'd just do it, I mean, that was him. Yeah. Didn't back away from too much, that's for sure. Yeah. I'm getting huffed. Well, I guess I can run through these headlines. Whew, I'm starting to sweat my ass off. Let me take a look at I think it's the headset mainly. I got the diesel heater in there running, but it's on low. I mean, it's like I'm in a t-shirt, and it's like warm in here, right? And the diesel heater is all the way down on low, and it's 38 degrees outside.
Nice.
Yeah.
Can't wait to get mine. And once I get it running good and stuff, I'm gonna shut all my electric stuff off for, I want to try a week and see, and then calculate the fuel and see if it ends up being cheaper than my electric bill or not. Because around January and February, my stuff starts getting, since it's all electric, I can get up to about $450 a month.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so if I can get it cheaper than that, I'm all about it.
Yeah, I mean, this place is right around 40 is where it starts to get a little harder to heat, and when it gets down to about 20 outside, yeah, this place is holy hell to heat. But as long as it stays 40, 50 degrees, dude, on low, you can sit there and run it for a half an hour, let it stay off for a half an hour, turn it on for another half, back and forth.
So what about if yours is outside, right? So it's
No.
sucking in. Oh, yours is indoors?
Yeah.
Okay. So it's recirculating the same heat or the same air? Okay, cool.
Yep. Yep. No, ours is sitting right by the grow tent
Right
in the
on.
kitchen. Yep. Yeah. No, I don't have an outside unit. I know there's a lot of people that was, oh God, you can't do that. Oh God. And it's like, I am not in a tiny hole of a boat. I will be okay. And you can't get that through their heads that there's this thing called parts per million. And there's a little difference between 400 square foot and like 4 square foot. I mean, there's a little difference.
Right.
I mean, but and then after I tore it apart to do the maintenance on it, I was so shocked at how clean that was, and with how clean it was, that tells me that that thing is burning extremely efficient.
Yeah.
And there's not much pollution that damn thing's putting off anyway. Those things are pretty damn safe, to be honest. As long as they're burning correctly, running correctly, they're safe.
It's a lot simpler than I thought it was when I saw you take it apart in the video. Which
Yeah.
is a lot more reassuring to me that it's something I might be able to actually work on if I need
They're
to.
pretty simple, man. They're pretty simple. You just make sure that that hole's clear, that the screen's okay. You glow plug works so you don't have any leaks. You got a good and strong enough power supply going to it. And dude, they're so simple.
I'll let you get through the headlines. I keep interrupting you.
Oh, dude, you're fine. You're fine. Let me get those up there. Up there. And click on that. Okay. Susan Sarandon apologizes for her anti-Semitic speech. What a bitch. Anyway, I don't. I couldn't resist that one. Russian exporters boost foreign earnings sales. Switzerland ups tally of frozen Russian assets. Money for Ukraine desperately needed, says White House. Well, I've got some needs. Like the Quest 3. That's right. Biden can buy me a Quest 3. And I'll help Ukraine. U.S. dominating global arms trade, says data. Well, Venezuelans vote to back potential annexation. More than 1,500 trucks stuck at Ukraine-Hungary border, says media. Internal EU rows threaten Ukraine's $54 billion, says Financial Times. Growing number of Ukrainians want peace talks, says a poll. I'm pretty sure that's a shrinking number with all of them that are getting killed in the war, but, I digress. Gold price hits historic high. U.S. Women's Magazine shares advice on satanic abortion ceremony. Man. U.S. hawk warns of Russian diplomatic offensive on Ukraine. Zelensky trying to control army directly, says media. Biden draining U.S. strategic crude reserves, says industry association. Former U.S. ambassador accused of being Cuban spy, says AP. Russia won't ban abortion, says top senator. Hell no, you can team up with the folks with the magazine and have satanic abortions, I guess.
Yeah.
Let's see. NATO states president vetoes arms shipments to Ukraine. Brazil not interested in Russia's sanctions, says ambassador. A lost $100 million masterpiece rediscovered after half a century. Yeah, but I bet whoever had it didn't get no damn $100 million. EU state reports highly pathogenic bird flu outbreak. Russia's trade with fellow BRICS countries soaring, says an envoy. Let's see, covered that and that. Migrants must learn Russian and respect the law, says Putin. Wow. He is just so damn discriminatory.
Yeah.
He's a racist.
God forbid they know how to read signs and all that.
I know. I mean, the nerve of some nation expecting that.
One of the big problems with that, honestly, dude, is like it's a big problem around here. Like people call 911 and they can't even speak to the operator.
Right.
Like that's a danger to you. Like
right. Yep. I agree. Let's see. And then the call again from Erdogan for Netanyahu to be charged by the ICC. U.S. I thought this was interesting. A U.S. national found dead in Russian deportation center, says media. So I guess his visa was denied? Definitely denied. Or rejected. That would be rejected. His visa was rejected. Whew. Ukraine and U.S. trade blame for failed counteroffensive, says Washington Post. UK revises estimate of Russian casualties. Tiger tears apart man in Russia. That wasn't fun, I'm sure. WHO asks Israel to spare Gaza warehouse. Yeah, don't ask Israel that because they'll target it specifically. Anyway, that would cover that nonsense. Make sure the screen, yeah, did. I do that because if I don't do that, build up cache or something in the browser, and my avatar gets all freaky. Hey.
That's when your hands go weird.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, no, that's not my hands. What happens is I get my hands close to me, and we're in a dark room. I like dungeon lighting in my living room. Well, because we're always at the computer, so yeah. I want the lights to be a little dim, and so it has that issue anyway. It's always bitching at me about the light, saying that it's not got enough light to hand track properly. But that's why. And then I bring my hands in where the cameras can't see my hands, so then they decide to go flailing and doing all kinds of crazy stuff. I start doing voguing and all that good stuff. And then, I don't know if you know this, but in DCS, there's a way that you can actually use your hands. You don't even need your flight stick or nothing.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, you just go and you set it up, and you just use your hands for everything. The throttle, the stick, and pushing buttons, and oh yeah.
Oh, that'd be wild.
But I don't mind using the actual. I'd rather use the stick.
I'd kind of, yeah.
That gives me something actual tactile that I feel.
You gotta at least have something in your hand.
Right. Well, yeah, and then I can lay my hand down on the flight stick base.
I mean,
and be able to finesse it. Yeah. Yep. Damn, today my sinuses have been hell. Shrink that down a little. I hate that big screen. When you expand it up and it covers up the room.
Yeah.
I put it big like that though, and the largest reason why I do that is because it makes me raise my head up more. Because otherwise you can't see my eyes because of the hat my avatar's got.
Oh yeah, I suppose. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's why I do that, so I can raise my head up a little bit more, so it looks a little better. Man, oh man, oh man. I'll be damned. I was hoping to get a good night's rest last night. And what did I do? I get all comfy in bed. And then the thought dawned on me. Hang on. That I hadn't seen the current installment, if you will, of the Squid Games the challenge thing. Have you saw that?
I did. I watched the first 2 episodes.
Dude. Last night I made that mistake of clicking on it. And I binged watched the entire, I don't know, second part, the second unveiling that they, I don't know how many videos, might have been 4, I don't know. I think 4. I think I watched 3 of them last night before I had to go to sleep. It's like 12:31 almost. I'm like, dude, you've got to go to sleep. So I did. I'd saved the last episode for today, and I watched it today. And then there's still one, episode 10, that's going to be out in 2 days, and that's the last episode for this season.
Okay.
But, dude, I was so freaking pissed off. Oh, man, was I pissed off. It had me pissed off. It had me in tears. It had, dude.
Really?
Dude, there is no better game show ever.
Yeah,
No.
the first 2 episodes are pretty awesome, so I gotta keep it up tonight.
That is the best game show I have ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
Because it is just such, it's a psychological, and I'm just going to say it, pardon the language, it's a psychological clusterfuck, dude.
Yeah, no doubt. Did you ever watch the movie?
Yeah, okay, I was going to ask if you did. So you know the game Marbles? Remember that?
Yep.
Okay. Well, you never know when they're coming for your next game. You never know if, you know how a lot of times you'll have a partner. Oops. Hang on, let me get rid of that. So anyway, you never know if that partner is going to be somebody you're working with or facing off against. You never know. And so they told everybody pick a partner and all that. And there's one up from Chicago, actually. There was a mother and a son from Chicago. And they were my favorites. They were my favorites by far. And anyway, the thing I think I love the most about them is even though that they were mother and son, when they had a challenge or whatever, a game that they had to go against one another, they actually did. I mean, they weren't playing around. They were trying to take each other out. They were serious. And that was so awesome. And I mean, because it was all just in the spirit of competition, and you could tell that it was one of the best things that I think that mother and son did. But I'll be damned if the marbles game didn't come up. And so inevitably, one of them was going to go. And I'll tell you what, that woman put up one hell of she almost whooped his ass in marbles, but he did. He just barely took out the win. So she had to go. And I don't know if it was the next event or 2 events later that he's gone. The glass, where you walk on the glass thing and then they
floor?
actually do it, dude.
Really?
They do it. I was thinking,
I can't wait.
dude, I was thinking they're going to have lights in the glass tiles, and if they step on a bad one, it's going to turn red, right?
Yeah.
No, the fucking floor falls. And they fall. It's badass, dude. You can see the net. There's lights and stuff, and you can see there's a net that goes all the way down.
Yeah.
But they fall. That glass panel drops, and they fall. And I saw it, the first one fall, and my jaws open. I'm like, yeah, it's badass. Though. I have never seen a better game show in my life. And that'll
just think about all the different game shows that pop off from this, man.
Oh my
I mean,
goodness. Oh my goodness.
shoot.
It was, but the psychological part is the worst part of it. It's really not the physical part. It's the psychological part. And it's rough.
Yeah.
When you see, two people that are incredibly good friends and stuff, and they're, they got to compete and take, one of them's going to leave and one of them's not. That's crazy stuff.
Or
But,
or stuff just like the dude who was taking extra meals and stuff. Like
yeah,
all that, like it's real. I mean, like, but
yeah,
it's real, but it's not real. But I mean, it's cool.
yeah. I'll tell you,
It was a lot more like just the first two episodes. I was surprised, like the cracker thing, and like they actually did it, and like they're actually in the set, and it was really cool.
you're talking about where they had to do the shapes. They had the cookie thing
Yeah,
on.
and then when they didn't agree right away, they're like, "Oh, you're all foregone," and they're like, "What?"
Yep, yep, yep. Yeah, it's crazy, and that ain't the only time that. Even in the marbles episode, there was I think it was the marbles. There were two people that couldn't agree on anything, as far as how to play the game or whatever, and they were both gone.
Man,
It's unreal. Like I say, it's just incredibly mentally cruel, though. It's and the other than like say the mother son and stuff, but most of the people that teamed up in there didn't know each other before. That was the person, that's where they met. But you could tell that there were some good friendships that were starting. It's just, dude, it was messed up. And then to turn around and see how
if you
some of
got
them would,
if you got, I wonder how they picked out the people for that. You know how, like in the movie, it was what, a letter in the mail or something.
I think probably that's a lot of probably how they probably put out some kind of a thing that they were looking for contestants for people to put in applications.
Yeah.
I don't know where they put it, but somewhere I'm sure they did that, and people from all over the world applied. So they filmed it, I think, in the UK.
Would you
Filmed
go
it
on
in
it?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But
I think you'd be good at it, dude.
I'd fuck some shit. Yeah, because that, the sad truth of it is the better you are at manipulation, the better you are at that type of a mindset, the better you are at that game.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, that was one of the things I was pretty skilled at. I just wished I would have used it in the right ways. Yeah, I would. And you better bet your ass I would. I wouldn't go there with anybody though. I don't think I would go there as a team with, team up with anybody.
Right.
And that's the reason why, because I don't want to be put up against somebody that I know.
Right.
That would suck. And I mean, even some of the stuff that you see that, especially like towards the end of the game, some of the stuff that you see some of the people do, you just wouldn't even guess that they would do something like that. That's like my pick now, because you know how everybody picks their person. Is a Korean lady, and I hope she wins. I really do. Out of everybody that's left, I hope the Korean lady wins. She's just awesome, but at the same time, she knows that sometimes you have to get ugly, and that's kind of the role where she's at right now. She did a couple of pretty ugly things here at the end of the game but that's what you got to do. I mean,
Right.
she understands, she gets it, but she shared her experience of when she was an 8-year-old child and left Korea, or was it Vietnam? Might have been Vietnam. I can't remember. It's either Vietnam or Korea. I want to say it was Korea though. Anyway, she talks about being 8 years old, And they were getting ready to leave the country, and they were, I guess, at the airport or the airfield, whatever. And everybody was told to lay down, face down. Everybody lay down. And she was like an 8-year-old kid, and she said, I stuck my head up just to kind of look around, and she said that a guard had walked right up to him. 8-year-old child put a gun up to her head and started screaming at her.
Hmm.
And she said her mom, as quick as her mom could, grabbed her and shoved her down, and started yelling at her to stay down. But she had shared that experience, and that told me a lot about her and
Yeah.
what what she could do, what she could tolerate if she had to. And I think she's going to win. I hope she wins. I really wanted either the son or the mother, one of the two, to walk away with it, but they're gone. So my next pick after them was that lady. So
Heck
yeah,
yeah, man.
it's cool. You'll have to watch. You'll have to binge.
Definitely.
Yeah, you won't be disappointed, man, but you'll probably be pissed off. You'll have to let me know. You'll have to
It's
watch it.
literally probably what I'm going to be doing right after this.
Okay, you will have to let me know, brother, how it affects you mentally and emotionally.
Yeah,
It
for
was
sure.
it was I enjoyed it. And maybe that's why it had that hold on me, was because I really did enjoy watching it. So it's good. It's just really, really good. And to see how they have implemented things into the TV show without having to kill people and stuff, it's pretty cool, But all right, man, I am going to get out of here. You go watch some Squid Games, and
Will do.
and I'll be back tomorrow, and we'll do some more of this nonsense. Alrighty, folks, I am out of here. I hope you all have a good evening. God willing, we'll be back tomorrow. I hope to see you then. As always, God bless you. We love you. Be one with your spirit, and shalom.
Peace.
Let's see.